Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Stevie Aisha Mills. I am the I Love My Life strategist, and I help women push past their past, and they can start loudly and proudly declaring, I love my life, right? And I love the conversation because of the fact that we bring just amazing people to this platform. We bring women and men who are standing up in their gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. You know, I call that rocking their it factor. And today I'm excited because a lot of the people we bring, I might not know them personally. I might not have ever seen them except for online. But this woman who is going to be here, I know her. I've seen her. I've watched her soar through success for all the time that I've known her, and I'm just excited. I'm going to read her a little bit of her bio because I want to uncover some of her excellence in this time we have together. But Nishaka Proctor is the executive creative of weddings and events for Events by Nishaka, located in Greensboro, North Carolina. She is a native of Anniston, Alabama, and Nishaka graduated from North Carolina A&T State University with a BS in Business Administration. Aggie, pride for real. Prior to establishing Events by Nishaka, she was employed as an area sales manager with General Electric's Commercial Appliance Division, working with residential building contractors. During her college years and into her corporate profession, her primary roles and responsibilities were project management and administration. Nishaka would assist with organizing events from the GE recruiting team to family and friends to help with weddings and celebrations. While working for GE, she realized her professional passion was elsewhere. Wow. And then it talks about her aha moment, but I'm going to ask Nishaka what her aha moment was when she heard an inspirational message. So, Nishaka, hey, girl, hey. I'm so excited you're here.
Well, thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here and to share, my story. And, wow, many years ago, it probably was, oh, my gosh. Well, interesting enough, August this year will be 10 years I've been in business full time. So that's how I can almost track where the inspiration came from, because about a year or two before that, which is 11, 12 years ago, I was attending Evangel Fellowship, a wonderful pastor by the name of Bishop Otis Lockett Sr. Loved him dearly, still love him, love his family. He always taught us, to go after our dreams, to connect with what it is that we do well. And, he ended up sharing several quotes, great quotes that many members can quote to this day. But one thing he said that was super inspirational, he said, what is it that you do so well that you would do it for free, but people want to pay you for it? And that was like the aha moment. I said, whoa, wait a minute. That is a powerful statement. What is it that you do so well that you would do it for free, but people want to pay you for it? And that sent me off into this just place of just seeking, trying to understand, what is it that I do so well? And I would do it for free because I do it all the time. And at that time, I was actually working for GE still. And but on the side, what I had been doing that I had not realized is I had always been strategically planning events or on some type of project. And my background, as you read, I have my degree in business administration, business management. So I've always been an administrator. I've always been that person in some type of group setting, always thinking about, okay, so what is it that we need to do? What's the plan? What's the how? What's the theme here? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? So I'm always thinking strategically. And as I kind of started to uncover that a little bit deeper, I started looking at, wow, I'm always helping on some kind of project, or I'm always helping somebody with some type of event. And just in that process of just uncovering that statement really led me to realizing I love planning events. Now, initially it wasn't weddings. It was really planning different church events, other nonprofit events, corporate events is really kind of how it started. So it was that inspiring statement that opened up my mind, my heart to really think deeply about what I already was doing, but this was something that I could actually pursue as a passion and as a business. And what really tipped me over to doing it was back in 2007. We're all familiar with the market changes. I was working for GE, calling on builders, selling appliances to builders and contractors. And, of course, the market shifted, and so did my job. So that was kind of, okay, now it's time to leap. Now it's time to leap and really consider what can evolve out of the world of event planning. So that is the inspiration that kicked me off into starting my business.
Wow, that's amazing, because I didn't know till just now that it wasn't weddings initially, because weddings, I know you do. How many weddings do you do per year?
So my business is interesting. I do about 12 to 15 weddings a year. I got a feeling this year that is going to change dramatically, and that's going to up even more, which I'm ready for it. But my business is a mix also of different events I do for some foundations and sometimes some corporate events. But, you know, truth be told, weddings is my passion. That's what I focus my energy, my marketing, my branding. It's focused more on weddings. And so all other types of events, that'll kind of come, you know, in the middle of the process. But it's truly wedding planning. I really have such a deep passion working with couples and really helping to make their day so magical and so seamless because it's one of the most important days in a couple's life. So that's really my heart. That's definitely my heartbeat.
Wow. And I am curious what you would say is your it factor when it comes to really your industry, because there's so many event planners. There's so many even wedding planners. What is it that helps you stand out from the crowded marketplace?
You know, what makes me different, and this is something that I had to uncover, and I think each and every person has to uncover this in their industry, is one, I really had to understand who I am as a person and who I am in this business. You know, what I deliver best. And, you know, you've probably heard people say, you know, how important it is to, you know, become an expert and be niched at what you do. I am in the wedding planning business. I'm very niched in what I do and what I deliver. So with me, what makes me different is the entire experience, really overall working with me. Regardless of what services you end up getting from me, it's truly a red carpet experience the entire way, from the beginning moment when we meet and to the farewell moment when you go off to your honeymoon. What I mean by that, the process is very seamless. You know, we are going to be together this entire time planning this wedding, so our relationship is very important to me because we're going to talk often and we're going to meet often. So I'm really about relationship. I'm about connection. I want to understand not only your style and your theme, but who you are and all the parties that are involved. So there's a relationship connection there. From a style perspective, you know, my style is truly, it's a romantic, elegant style that has glam to it with a modern twist. That's my style. I'm very clear about that. So the brides that are attracted to me when they first see the work, that's what they see, and those are the brides that end up connecting with me. The other element, which is a huge element, I'm very logistics-driven. So for me, it has to be executed with the highest level of precision and excellence because I only have one shot. My next client is sitting at your wedding. My next referral is going to come from your wedding. So the delivery for me has to be consistently excellent. and I stand on that. I mean, I give this 200%. So I believe I've really worked really hard to build that kind of a brand where when people hear my name and they hear the name Nishaka, there is the word excellence, there's seamless, there's glam, there's beauty. I want different attributes to attach to the name. And I think those are the things that makes me different from other planners. At least I like
yes.
that.
I mean, yes, and I definitely, I concur. I can say that, and it's funny because as you're talking, excellence definitely is the word I would say, and I would also point people to even the Facebook post that draws into the story of the people. Like, I don't even know these people. I'm like, wow, congratulations, y'all. Even if I don't get to post it, but I feel like I know who they are. You know, I know their names. I know it's just, especially for a person who's really into romance and really into, you know, the fairy tale and really, you know, I interned at Disney, so I'm all about princesses and all these things. And I feel like, wow, it is a storybook that you're building. I appreciate that, and it's just a beautiful thing where you do take it a step further because you don't see, or at least I don't see, a lot of people who draw upon the story as much. I don't know. Maybe especially in the market where you are, that you clearly stand out in that market. And I know because I used to live there. So it's interesting from that standpoint. And I can clearly say it's a black tie experience from beginning to end, just what I can see and understand. And I went to that same illustrious university, and my degree was in PR, so I know a little bit about what I'm talking about.
You do. Absolutely, you do. No, that's absolutely it. I mean, this is a different kind of market, you know, being in the Greensboro, the Triad area. You know, however, you know, it's just, that's why I had to come back, you know, in my early days when I started my business, probably midway, of really getting connected with who I am and what I deliver and, you know, getting more niche with that and just saying, you know what, I have to be my authentic great. And the clients that connect with that are the clients who are going to book with me because it's okay. I understand I'm not for everybody. There's a flavor of planners and a flavor of clients out there, and it's all about finding the right fit. And as the planner, you know, as a business person, it was important for me to connect with that. You know, once I connected with that, I understood who I was, meaning I understood who my client was going to be. And she's attracted to me like I'm attracted to her, you know, and we serve each other well. So, yeah. Yeah.
You better go ahead and preach. I say these same things. I say these same things except for in different languaging. For example, what you said, a lot of people will hear me talk about custom design assignments, right? So we all have a custom design assignment, and we also have people who are custom design assigned to us. And once you learn who you are and accept your gifts, skills, talents, and abilities, and I tell people, know who you are, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent, then you will be able to, what you said, become magnetically attractive. And with that, the magnets, they either attract to you, repel, just like a magnet. So, yes, I'm not. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think you're spot on with that, because when you are clear about who you are, what you offer, you know, what you bring to the table, you are going to attract that. That is the law of attraction. I mean, you're going to attract that. And that excites me because what it did for me was it helped settle the fact that it was okay that I didn't book every client. And it was not anything wrong with me that I didn't book this client or book that client. But the clients that I booked were the right fit. fit for me and I for them. And that's how it should be. You know, you should, in the service business, it's a little bit different when you have a product, you know, that you can produce and sell. You know, in the service business, it's so much about relationships, and it's about being clear about your brand and what you bring to the table and what people are looking for. You know, and it has to be a match, and it makes the overall experience just an amazing, you know, time together when you're pulling these events together. And not to say everything is perfect, you know. Everything isn't perfect all the time in the planning process. However, you know, when you have mastered that and you've mastered, you know, and continue to master your skill set and master your understanding of what you do and master how you deliver, you know, it's still that consistency there just continues to lead towards a good process, you know, continued referrals, you know, in the process. And, again, getting those type of clients, those ideal type of clients that you want to continue to get for your business. Hope that makes sense.
Yes, and I love that. That is so true. That is. And where would you say is your primary market? Do you primarily just stay in the North Carolina region, or where can people hire you from?
So interesting enough, 94% of my business, and it fluctuates from 94 to 96, but typically 94% of my business is referred. A lot of my business is within Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point. Interesting enough, actually, I have been able to do events in other areas. And it's not because I've marketed in those areas, and I do not, but it has been because my next client has been at an event that I've done or knows someone that knows, you know, of me and have asked me, would you travel? So I've had the opportunity. I've done a wedding in Ocean Isle Beach in North Carolina. I've done a wedding in St. Simon Island in Georgia. I've done a wedding in upstate New York. I've also done a wedding actually in Elizabeth City. So it's kind of interesting. I'm open to traveling, absolutely. I'm open to doing destination weddings. However, you know, the primary market has been the Triad, and I've had other clients that have taken me to other places. So that's fun. I've enjoyed being able to do those types of weddings in different locations.
That's awesome. If you were not an event planner, what could you see yourself being in 2017?
Let me tell you, I so love that question. I love that question because, honestly, if I was not a wedding planner, I would be doing one or two things. I would be a floral designer. I absolutely love florals. I actually do know how to arrange some florals. I've actually had to do that one time for a wedding. That was not the plan, but it happened that way. But I would love that. I'm very inspired by flowers. I'm inspired by the creativity of what can be done with them. So if I wasn't a wedding planner, I would either be doing that or I love wedding dresses. I'm obsessed with say yes to the dress. So I would probably be working in a bridal boutique selling wedding dresses because I'm super inspired by dresses. As a matter of fact, dresses for me, when I get a chance to see a bride's dress, it's a big part of the inspiration for her wedding. I look at her dress to think about how do we pull the elements of that dress somewhere into the wedding, or how does it become kind of a centerpiece overall for the wedding. So it would be one of the two. I'd either be a florist or I'd work in a bridal salon.
Wow, that's amazing because you're still tied to the wedding. So you're still tied to the event. So it's in your blood. It's definitely in your blood. Sometimes people, you know, want to go all the way stage left. So that's encouraging to myself and to the listeners because that proves that you are living in your dream. You're living your life. And that is – go ahead.
No, I just said I am. I truly am. I would be in this wedding industry some way, somehow. Yep.
I actually have watched Say Yes to the Dress, and it is interesting how the brides go in there and they just know. Like, and that's what people say about their husbands. They just know.
Yeah, I love that, and it's so I've watched so many episodes, and I've been with some of my brides who I've been with them when they've said yes to the dress with a couple of them, and it's just so intuitive and so magical and so just amazing when they put on the dress. It's like everybody knows that's the dress. And, of course, when they start crying, that's the dress. That's the dress.
Yes. It's exciting. I'm learning just so much. It's always great to have conversations. I remember we sat down a few years ago and had a conversation, and it just was amazing because I know how tight your schedule is. So anytime I get to speak to you live and in living color, I definitely appreciate it, and I definitely learned something. And it's amazing because a lot of people in your industry, they don't study themselves to be as approved as you are. And you can tell that you have a business analytical side, and it's really cool to see this creative side mixed in, like both sides of the brain. That's amazing. So how do you create the wedding, like the wedding theme? Do most people come? Do they know what they want to do? Or do you have to go into your creativity lab, as I call it, how I go into my creativity lab, and come out with some ideas about what you want to do?
So, this is always interesting because this is different with every bride. When I initially meet with a bride and have a consultation with her, that meeting is 80% really talking about her vision, her ideas. I'm really trying to pull out of her. Of course, I want to know the colors and if she has a theme. If she doesn't, that's okay. But I like to ask a lot of questions. I have a great questionnaire, and the questionnaire doesn't feel like a questionnaire because I've done it so many times. I pull it out from a conversational perspective. And so I'm wanting to understand, many of these brides have been to weddings or been bridesmaids in weddings, and I'm just wondering, so what have you seen that you liked? What is it that you've seen that you didn't like, that didn't fit you? I'll ask them if they have favorite flowers or, what are the 3 most important things when they walk away from the wedding that night that's most important to them? Is it the food? Is it the fun? Is it the dancing? Is it the beauty of it? So there's lots of questions that I'll ask in that initial consultation. I'll ask them, of course, if they have a Pinterest board, and some of them have a whole lot of Pinterest boards. So they'll show me different pictures, or some may already have a binder of, printed pictures as inspiration. And one of the things I share with them all the time, with Pinterest, Pinterest is for inspiration, not duplication. So that's how I look at Pinterest. I want to get an idea of what it is that you're looking for, but I want this wedding to feel like you. I want people to come to this wedding and say, yes, that's this couple. Or I want them to see some things that they have never seen before, but it still fits the couple. So I'm really into their love story, how they met, some of the things they like, some of the things that they never thought of could be. It doesn't mean we do every single idea because I want to pull it all together and make it make sense for that particular couple. But the couple is my inspiration. They are my muse. And so I really make it a point to make sure, as much as possible, that every wedding I do looks different. But it only looks different because the love story is different and the vision is different. So the wedding shouldn't look like me. It should look like them. But I'm the behind-the-scenes creative working with all the collaborators to make it happen. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes awesome sense. And I am so glad you just said one of my magic words, too, collaboration. Oh, my gosh, we've got to talk about this before we go. We have like 5 minutes. Can you believe it? We have 5 minutes. So, yeah, see? But I've got to talk to you about collaboration because my favorite hashtag that I've been using for the last couple of years is Connect, Collaborate, Change. And It is truly amazing. I know you collaborate with some amazing people. So talk to us about just how to collaborate, the art of collaboration, just whatever God puts on your heart about collaboration, because that's key.
It is, and that's how I see myself, as a collaborative designer, with my vendors. Here's the really cool thing that I'm really grateful for that I get to do with my clients, is capturing their vision and me kind of taking it and really just letting it permeate through my mind and really thinking about some ideas. And, sometimes, I have moments when great ideas pop out of my head that I hadn't seen before, or, we look at some of the pictures and get some ideas. One of the things that I know that the vendors that I work with really appreciate from me is that that's not something they have to do. We can sit down and I can present to them, here's what I'm thinking. I can sketch on paper, here's what I'm thinking. And if it's something they haven't created before, or if it's something they may have an idea about, then, the ideas now start to kind of run through their head, and we start kind of just pulling together, how we could make this different. Maybe there's something they could research that they could order, that they don't have in their inventory. So I really try to do that with all of them, even when it's the DJ. We have our moments of just talking about understanding how we want to flow the music, when we want to play certain songs, how we want the night to end, just the whole feel of the night, from the linens. I look at, for me, the reception is not about a piece of linen and a napkin on a table. It's an experience when people sit down at the dinner table, so I'm playing around with the look. I want people to come when they sit at the table and say, wow, they laid this out for me. This is amazing. I want them to have that experience, So even with my linen companies, they don't always have the linens that I would like. So it's like, okay, here's some fabric. Let's see if we can order it. Let's see if we can make it, So they know that I work with them and present the vision, the ideas, and then we just work together to figure out, how do we make this happen? Where do we get these pieces from? So it's truly a collaborative effort with every single one of them, and they appreciate being a part of the process.
Awesomeness. I love this conversation. I love this conversation because, oh my God, so much has been uncovered. I am a true believer in just having conversations. I love it. And when God gave me the concept for this particular show, it's so funny because a lot of people, we're like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Whatever God, this is what we're going to talk about. And it always turns out perfect. And at first it was weird because a lot of people, most people want to know what you're going to ask them. But thank God I've just been really with some people who trust my vision and trust what the Lord said. And then another thing, go ahead.
No, I said, no, that's awesome. I love that you do it this way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And another thing, since we're talking about branding, I would say probably almost 99.999% of the people who have come on this, they're like, it's so much fun. Well, I know fun is part of my branding, so that is amazing. And I also love the fact that you have really shown people how it is to, really take both sides of what you do and what you went to school for. Because a lot of people are not in industries that seemingly go together. Most people would never think these two would go together, but you are rocking it out, and you can see how you've made it happen because of the fact that you are so strategic in what you do, in business development and business management and all of this, all the terms that you've used. Even though we've been talking about the industry of events and wedding planning, even that I've heard business all the way through, and I think that's very cool, and I think that the listeners will appreciate that. And so before we skedaddle on out of here, I want you to make sure that you are just giving any final words that you may have, and also your contact information so that people can stay connected.
Absolutely. Well, I will leave you with these 3 statements because I think they're really important, and I think this can carry over regardless of what business a person is in. But these are really key, to growing and being successful and just continuing in that journey of evolving. One, it's important to discover who you are. Be you. So many people, you see so many people who do what you do, and sometimes you have that tendency of wanting to become them. But it's nothing wrong with watching and seeing and loving some of their traits, and yes, maybe wanting to adopt some of that. However, you have got to be you in whatever it is that you do. So you've got to discover and uncover that, appreciate and embrace that, because that will be one of the things that people are attracted to is who you are and what you bring to the table. The second thing I would say is find and be your authentic great. Be the expert at what you do. Find that piece, that element that you do extremely well within your business or the services that you offer, and just be great at it. It's okay. Be the expert and be great at it. The third thing I would say is be consistently excellent. Deliver. So many people miss this piece of it. They lack the consistency of delivering excellence. I remember a pastor said many years ago, he said, what does excellence say about you when you're not present? And what it's showing is consistency. What are people going to say? What does excellence say about you? Because when you're not present, your brand is speaking. So be consistently excellent and deliver. So those are my 3 points. Hopefully that'll help some people. And definitely if, anyone's interested in, reaching out to me, it'd probably be easier to find me through my website, which is Events with an S on the end by Nishaka.com, EVENTSBY. N as in Nancy, I, S as in Sam, HAKA.com.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Nishaka. Thank you. I am so elated about the time we spent together here. I am so elated. And everybody, please do connect with Nishaka. She just is amazing, just powerful being. And you got to keep people like that in your life. You got to keep people like that in your life because they inspire you to keep going and growing. And, y'all, look, I am so North Carolinian. I'm like, y'all, definitely you can connect with me, Stevie Aisha Mills, if you know how to spell my first name, Stevii, because Stevie.com is my website, and all of my social media is there, and that one-stop shop type of place. And I'm so excited because 2017 is the year of I Love My Life. And I, again, am helping women push past their past and loudly and proudly declaring I love my life. And guess what? We might show up at a city near you because we're on tour. Experience is the name of the events that we're having, empowering women all over the East Coast right now and anywhere else you want us to show up. Just reach out to me and we'll make it happen. So I always say, don't have a great day, make it a great day. Why? Because you have the power to do so. See you next time on The Conversation. Hugs and love. Bye now.